Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to That United Stand. That United Stand, it's a brand new channel, it's the Friday announcement. It's not, this is the United Stand and we are here live talking about the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. We're going to be talking about a Donny de Jong. We're not going to be talking about Donny de Jong. We're going to be talking about Frankie de Jong. A Frankie de Jong setback with a positive twist. Obviously this is a news show, so I have to bring you the news, but there is a positive twist on de Jong, even though the news is a little bit negative on it. We'll also be talking about Erik ten Hag's meeting yesterday in Amsterdam with the United recruitment team. He sorted his coaching staff, he's got his assistant, and we'll be talking about the transfers. Marcus Rashford with demands for first team game time, according to Fabrizio Romano, and lots of other things to talk about, as well as my big announcement, if you don't know what that is yet, and a few other bits as well. So good morning, I hope you're all doing really well. As you can see, there is no Manchester United game this weekend, hence there's no preview, but there is still a game of Spitch that you can play. So I'll give you the details on that because I know a lot of you play it. Spitch is a fantasy football manager app that lets you build your own team to win points and take on other managers on the game. Now, as I play the video for you here, I know a lot of you are playing this. You can play it through the link in the description. There is a way of playing it where you can, you pick your team. It's based around weekly competition. So your points at each weekend. You can play tomorrow and everyone's on the same 0. You play to win for that weekend. You can play in the Premier League, you can do it in other leagues, and if you want a bit of analytics, it's got all your analytics on what players to pick. Obviously United aren't playing, so don't pick United. If you want to download and get yourself in with a shot of winning, you can download it with the QR code or the link in the description. Also, you can make sure you join the United Stand community page, which is the second link. So this is where we play against each other. You can play against me, and each week we give a £50 voucher to spend on the United Stand store, so you can get the Last Dance jumper, the t-shirts, the mugs, everything like that. And we play against each other, which is good fun. Last week's £50 winner was Aaron Ronald. Huge congratulations to him. Check your DM when you get your merch delivered. And if you want to be part of the United Stand community on Spitch, then hit the link in the description. You must be over 18 to play. Terms and conditions apply. And as I said, the link is in the description. A fantasy football app where you can play brand new this weekend against each other, see if you can beat me, you can win prizes, and you can also win a £50 voucher at United Stand, and enjoy that. And also, as always, you can hold your camera phone up to the QR code and scan it there, so big shout out to that. Right, I will talk about the announcements in a moment, but I want to get straight into the news because I know a lot of people will be here to listen about Frankie de Jong, and the honest answer is there is a bit of a setback this morning. Some Spanish outlets are saying that Xavi has not authorised this transfer and that he will have the final say on it, and that Xavi and Frankie de Jong believe in each other. We believe each other. Cracking Oasis song that, and didn't do it very much justice. So a bit of a setback. Also, there is also further talk that even if he did decide to leave, he'd want Champions League football, and therefore Manchester United would not be. He would not be in the mood to move to Manchester United if that became a reality anyway. So look, a lot of positive buzz over the last sort of 36 hours around Frankie de Jong and Manchester United. And then this morning, we're getting a little bit of negativity, transfer setback, transfer blow. That is the news. It's out there. You can see it. These are the reports that are coming from Spain. Xavi hasn't authorised the deal. De Jong doesn't want to leave. And if he did leave, he wouldn't be in the mood to come to Manchester United. So that is the latest story. But there's a nicky but here. I don't believe it. I'm still 70% sure that United are going to sign him. Now, I'm not 100%, I'm not 90%, I'm not 75%, I'm 70% sure, which means if I flip a coin and there's a 50-50 chance of us getting de Jong, it's 50-50. I'm actually loading that coin a little bit more. I think this is a 70% chance that we're going to get him. Why? I hear you cry. I can't hear anybody else, but let's pretend I can hear you saying why. Why do I not believe these stories? Because ultimately, everybody I've spoken to and all the news from the start, I've watched transfer news most of my life. Not just on YouTube, not just on fan forums, but I'm going back to teletext days. Page 312, massive. I'm going back to the early 90s. I've seen loads of transfer sagas pan out. And this, it's like, as I said yesterday, it's like the plot of a film. Many films are repeated and regurgitated in many different ways. There are deeper layers. I was watching Jaws last week, and there's political themes there about, do we close the beach, don't we close the beach? Open the beach and let the poor people go into the sea while the rich people sit back and watch them get eaten. There are layers to every storyline. It's not just a shark, right? And there are layers to every transfer, and you can sort of navigate your way through. This I might be completely wrong with this, but from what I've spoken, from who I've spoken to, from what we've seen in the media, I absolutely do not believe that Frankie de Jong and Xavi are saying, no, he's not for sale, and if he does go, he's going to the Champions League. And United are there just sort of going, but we thought we had a 95% chance. Super chat for a banging Oasis song. Well deserved, says Jacob. It is a good Oasis song. I'm going to listen to it later. So I feel that, why do I feel confident? Because nobody at United has denied the story. Nobody. They've not put any leaks out. They haven't denied it. All the tap-in journalists around United are saying, yes, United are pursuing a deal. You've got Gerard Romero, who's very close to Barcelona, and other outlets close to Barcelona saying, yes, Barcelona are looking to sell because they need to raise money. The fact is, Barcelona need to raise money by the end of June. This is a financial thing. And as we said yesterday, I don't think people are understanding this. This is a financial thing. This needs to... They need to resolve it. They need to remove... They're handing out new contracts to players, and they need to remove somebody to generate some cash. They're talking about signing Lewandowski. They've got to generate some cash. I absolutely believe they're trying to sell Frankie de Jong. Whether they can sell Frankie de Jong, because maybe Frankie de Jong and Xavi resist it, but I definitely think this is more advanced. And I completely do not agree with the story that this is just a paper story. United would like, United are knocking on Barcelona's door, and they're going, he doesn't want to come to you. Go away, you Europa League prats. He doesn't want to come to you. I actually think Barcelona have knocked on our door and said, would you be interested? And we've gone, yeah. And I actually think there's been conversations with de Jong. So I don't believe this whole de Jong doesn't want to go to United, Barcelona don't want to sell. I really firmly believe that this deal is more advanced than people think. And I don't know whether I'd go as far as Gerard Romero that there's a 95% chance that it'd happen, but I'm certainly 70% at the moment. And these stories about a setback, look, we'll bring you the news and then we'll give you the opinion. And my opinion is, I think it's going to happen. And I wouldn't mind... in fact, we'll do a poll. We'll do a very quick poll. Why not? We've got enough people watching. Will de Jong sing for United? I put. He's going to come and sing a song for us. Yeah, will de Jong sign for United? So let's whack a live poll while we're live. But yeah, I'm confident about this. I don't believe the stories. I wouldn't. If you'd have said to me 2 days ago, I wouldn't have believed we were getting de Jong. But everything we've seen in the last sort of 48 hours leads me to believe that I think United are more advanced than people think in this deal. And I'm sure there's a bit of persuasion to go on. I'm sure there's a bit of negotiating to go on. But I do think it's going to happen. Which brings me to my next point. I do want to just add a couple of things. What would you do if Donny was in your fridge? Jordan, I don't want to know how your mind works. It scares me. So there's 2 things I would say about de Jong before we move to the next story. One, we cannot waste all summer on this deal. I completely agree with people saying, we cannot waste all summer on this deal. We cannot be waiting on de Jong. Do you want to come? Do you want to come? And then it hits the end of June, and Calvin Phillips has gone to Villa, and Ruben Neves has gone somewhere else, and then de Jong says he's staying where he is. We literally have got to put a marker down in the sand and say that's the price, that's the time limit. Do the deal or not. We are in a strong position. Barcelona is selling for money. They're not selling because they want to. So I agree with everybody. We cannot let this run for 6 weeks. We've got to be on the ball with it. And I think we are. Welcome to the Members Club, SR and Reese. Thank you very much for joining. If you want to join the Members Club, by the way, you can do it by clicking the join button at the top of the live chat or below. Our video, our latest exclusive video where we do like deep dive sort of comparison stats on transfer targets and players. Matic, Rodri and de Jong, just comparing how they play so you can understand about what de Jong's about. We've had nearly 1,000 views from our members on that, so that's great. Thank you very much, everybody who's been watching it. It only went up yesterday. You can check it out. You also get your badge next to your name, like Camila and Andrinel. So thank you very much. So yeah, I definitely agree that we cannot waste too much time on this deal. I do. The second thing I want to say is that I got into a bit of trouble on Twitter last night. My announcement I'll tell you in a minute, but I did get into trouble for that. But the other thing I said is that apparently Barcelona wants £68 million for de Jong. I tweeted, I wouldn't pay any more than 60 million or we walk. And then I had people going, no, Goldbridge is going to walk away from signing de Jong because of £80 million. And I'm like, yes, that's what I tweeted, but I'm not in charge. Oh, for £8 million you're going to walk away. And then I had Barcelona fans saying, we want 70 million or you're not having him. And I'm like, it's my bloody opinion. It's my opinion. if you set a limit when you're buying a car or a house, you don't add another 8 million on. That's the whole point of setting a limit. You drive a hard bargain. I'm sure De Jong probably is worth 68 million, but for our summer, we need to get him for 60 because that leaves us with another 90 to spend on other players. So 60 million pounds. Barcelona are desperate. Let's see how desperate they are. Nunez for 60 million, De Jong for 75, Timber for 30, Eriksen free, Spence 15 million, 180 million, dream summer. I'd love that, Josh. Is that right maths? Has he done good maths? 135, 165. He has. I'll have some of that. I don't think we'll get Nunez for 60 million, but maybe we get De Jong for 60 million, Nunez for 75. I like that, Josh. And that is achievable. So Josh has got Nunez for 60, De Jong for 75, Timber for 30, Eriksen for free, and Spence at right back for 180 million, yeah? We could do that deal. 180 million, we can do that. If we sell Henderson and Martial, our net spend would be about 125. So yeah, we could do that, Josh, you're right. Wouldn't Martial not work as a striker? Would work in a high-pressing team, says Mr. Murray. A few people have spoken to me about Martial. The reality is, I'm assuming Martial will leave. I like Martial, but I think it is time to leave. Check De Jong's Google page. It says he's playing for Man United, says Eves. And welcome to the Members Club, Michael. And De Jong, Van der Beek, midfield. Fernandes, number 10. Ronaldo up front with Fred supporting the midfield. One more centre-back, and that's a start, says Ashley. Good points. And I would steer clear of De Jong. If he doesn't want to come, this would be just another Di Maria, says Gerg. No, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong on that, but I also don't think it's fair to say that De Jong is another Di Maria. Di Maria was a snake. Like, he literally did not want to come to United. He came here for the money and he got out within a year. He was never happy. De Jong, it's a bit different. I don't think he's happy to leave Barcelona. I really don't. But if you understand De Jong's relationship with Ten Hag, De Jong could leave Barcelona and go to Arsenal and play in the Champions League. He could go to Man City. He could go to Bayern Munich. So it's not like he's being pushed to United. I think it benefits Barcelona that he comes to United, but he could force a move elsewhere because ultimately, if De Jong says, I'm not going to Man United, I want to go to Bayern, and they've got the money, then Barcelona would have to take the money because they're desperate. If he comes to United, we're going to have to persuade him. We're not going to have to force him. And I think with Di Maria, he sort of probably got forced a bit. Spencer, welcome to Members Club. I think once United offer over 65 million, Barca will sell, and his relationship with Donny and Ten Hag will help with the lack of Champions League football, says Lee. I hope so. As I said, I'm confident that this deal can happen. Spanish outlets have come out around midnight stating De Jong doesn't actually want to come, and PSG and Bayern are now in the race. I've read that, Kareem. Kareem, you know, I'm gonna tell you off, Kareem. We start the show at 10. I know I used to start it at 7 minutes past, but now I'm making a really concerted effort to start the show at 10. So please be here at 10 because it's like an echo. It's Slow Sports News here. Slow Sports News. Crunchy nut cornflakes with Kareem. Yeah, I've already said that. There is reports from Spain that he doesn't want to come. There is reports that if he does leave, he won't come to United. I accept that. I just don't believe them. Yeah, I don't believe it. I think that this is more advanced than people are letting on. Somebody just said there about an official announcement. No, I don't think we're close to that because I actually do think De Jong will wait long enough to see if we're in the Europa League. I don't think he'll sign for us in the Conference League. So I don't see anything. Well, anything official can't happen. When does the transfer window open? I think it's like sometimes it opens in the middle of May. I think this one opens at the start of June until the end of August. Because the one that opened in the middle of May ended at the start of August, didn't it? So I think that the transfer, someone in the chat will know, but I think that with De Jong, he will wait until what happens against Palace a week on Sunday, and we may then get something straight after that, but we'll have to wait to see. We'll have to wait and see on that. Mark, doesn't it seem like the Dybala saga a few years ago? No, I don't think so. I think this has moved quickly. We're going to talk about Erik Ten Hag in a moment. But yeah, look, on De Jong, make your own mind up. My opinion is that I think there's a lot more to this deal. And I think the truth to this deal actually belongs on the first report from Gerard Romero and the subsequent reports from the British press the next day. I do think United are in the advanced stage of this deal. It doesn't mean we're going to get it, but there you go. Did you watch the Ajax after party? Every clip is Ten Hag talking to Lisandro Martinez, and that's the centre-back I think we're going to get. He's left-footed. Maybe, Jack. Maybe we don't get Timber and we get Martinez. Good luck tonight, Mark. Incredible achievement, mate. You spoke brilliant when on with Faye and looking forward to the show. Who will be on with you, says Johnny Moss. So this sort of, I'm going to tell you this now because there is loads still to talk about, but I did say I had an announcement for you on Friday. Now, this is not the big news around United Stand. There is some big news around United Stand that we've got to bring you. I think it was due to be next Friday. I think that was the 6 weeks limit I gave. I'm still hopeful that that's going to happen, but there's a few things going on there. But it doesn't involve me leaving or anybody in the background leaving, so don't worry about that. This is an announcement that I think a lot of people are going to like. How many Ajax players will Eric Ten Hag bring, do you think, says Ashley? I don't think he'll bring any more than 2. He might only bring 1. And also got loads to get through, but I'm just getting some super chats here. I don't see how he would join personally since he wants Champions League and United could be a few years away, says Daniel. But Daniel, I think you're believing the press there, Daniel. I don't blame you. So Daniel doesn't think De Jong will come to United because we haven't got Champions League football. But you're coming at it like the press are coming at it this morning. He doesn't want to go. I'm coming at it, and I think some people are coming at it, that we're past all that. This Gerard Romero, who's close to Barcelona, said there's a 95% chance he's joining Manchester United. 95% chance is very big. The British press of credibility are saying that we are pursuing this deal. It is a difficult deal to do because you're asking Frankie de Jong to leave a club he doesn't want to leave and come to Manchester United for a new project who aren't in the Champions League. But I think we believe we can do it. And I think de Jong's had a chat with it. Ten Hag's had a chat with him. And I think it's going to happen. So I'm not worried about the Champions League thing because I don't think we're coming into this fresh. I think the deal's more advanced than people think. Hi, Mark. Love the show. Would you take anyone on loan, says Joey? I don't think loan deals really suit United in relation to building for the story. If these stories were true, why would we be pursuing the deal? Also, do you think Fred and de Jong work as a 2, says Daniel? I don't know what's going to work as a 2. We'll have to wait and see when he gets the team together, but I think it could do. Thoughts on Livramento? He has a 47 million release clause, says Vic. I like Livramento, but I wouldn't spend £47 million for him when Spence is available for a lot cheaper. So tonight at 10 o'clock, I'm on TalkSport presenting a radio show. This is my big announcement. It's caused people a lot of happiness, and a lot of people have been very happy about it. It's also caused a lot of bitterness. We'll talk about that in a minute. But effectively, there is a live stream of it tonight at 10 o'clock. So we do have an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand. We've got the 2 o'clock show. But I'm also live on TalkSport at 10 o'clock tonight, presenting a show. Now, a lot of people are like, why are you going on TalkSport? You always say that they talk shit on there. Their pundits talk shit. And I do think that. But I'm presenting the show. I'm not a guest. I'm not sitting there being dictated to. I'm going on to present the show. I've always, if anyone watches my own channel, I've always wanted to present a radio show. I've always wanted to challenge myself and do it. And it's not every time, when opportunities come up, it's a pretty big opportunity. They're a national radio show, and I get the opportunity to present it. So at 10 o'clock tonight, I'm presenting the show. We will be talking a bit about United, but obviously the FA Cup and stuff like that. So if you want to tune in, 10 o'clock tonight, you can listen on the radio, or it will be on the TalkSport YouTube channel. I will tweet the link out when I go live. But yeah, there's a live chat there. Get involved, and looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody. Josh, there we go. Thank you very much for the super chat. Why would he come if his heart's set on Barca, says Kareem. Okay, I'm not going to go round in circles, Kareem. You either listen to the show or you don't. Because you're sending us round in circles. I'm not de Jong. All I'm saying is, I think this deal's more advanced. Love the channel, Mark. Keep up your good work, says Grace, and congratulations, Mark. Now, I want to talk about Ten Hag's backroom staff because McClaren's coming, which I think is interesting, and obviously Van der Gaag is coming with him as well. But I do just want to talk about this story from Fabrizio Romano because it sort of resonates with what I've just announced there. So when I said I was going to present the show on TalkSport, which is for me, I was asked to do it. It's for me. It's got nothing to do with Man United. There's people out there going, representing us. I'm representing you. I'm representing our community. I do not represent Manchester United fans. I don't know why people think it. I started this show with 10 people watching once a week. Now we've got 12,000 people watching at 10 o'clock in the morning. We built this community, me and you. Nobody else. There was no magic wand. There was no media company behind us. We built this community. What I do is for me and you. It's not. I don't do it for Manchester United. I'm not a representative of Manchester United. I don't speak for Manchester United. I speak for the community that want to watch and listen. And if you don't want to watch and listen, don't watch. But tonight, I'm not going on as a Manchester United presenter. I'm going on TalkSport. There's an FA Cup final tomorrow. I have a big channel called That's Football. It's not just about United. So tonight is about me doing something I want to do because you, the community, have provided the platform for me to do that. So thank you to you. I'm not representing Manchester United, so you can jog on with that for a start. The second thing I want to say is that Fabrizio Romano has said that Marcus Rashford wants guarantees about his first team game time next season when he sits down with Ten Hag because he wants to go to the World Cup. Now, I think that's a complete load of bollocks, and I think United should probably sell him if that's true. No player, after the season they've had, like Rashford or Bruno or Maguire or Wan-Bissaka or anybody else who's had a shit season, should be sitting down with the new manager and saying, I'll commit to the project if you promise me first team football. I'd be like, bye, get out. No player at Manchester United or Liverpool or Man City or Chelsea should sit... I mean, can you imagine Jordan Henderson or Mo Salah sitting down with Jurgen Klopp and saying, I want guaranteed first time or guaranteed first team time? I mean, Mo Salah's going to get guaranteed first team time, but it's just not the attitude to have. It isn't the attitude to have, is it? And I find it ridiculous. I don't know whether that's true from Fabrizio. I don't know whether he's well briefed on that. But if Rashford's camp think it's a good idea to let a story go out that he's going to sit down with Ten Hag, and if he doesn't get guaranteed first team game time, he's going to leave, that's bloody ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I said it about Dean Henderson the other day, and I'll say it about Rashford as well. I like Rashford. Henderson, I think, should leave. But no Man United player who's not played for United very well this season should be sitting down with the new manager wanting guaranteed first game time. Dembele leaving for free in the summer, so I don't think Barca will want nothing less than 70 million for De Jong, says Amir. Congratulations, Mark. I heard Beth mention you going on TalkSport, says Jake. Thank you very much. The midfield duo of De Jong and Kamara would cost only 68 million in total. Great bargain. I don't think we're in for Kamara, though. I think everyone, Anabav, I think people are talking about Kamara because he's free, but how much do you actually know about Kamara? Do you really think Kamara is good enough to... I mean, he's good on my FIFA career team, but... Well, he's okay, but I don't know whether Man United are in for him. Axel Witsel leaves by Dortmund. Your thoughts? I think he could be a good replacement for us. He's getting on a bit, though, isn't he, Marius? McTominay shaking in his boots, says LS, and welcome to the Members Club, Seamus. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to check out the De Jong deep dive video where we compare him to Matic and Rodri. That's gone up there now. But going back to that Rashford thing, it planted a seed in my head because when I didn't even announce it. TalkSport put a tweet out last night about me presenting this show, and you know, I replied it. I said I'm here for the comments because I knew what was going to happen. I've been on Sky before, and people just can't deal with it. Like, they just absolutely can't. You get loads and loads of people who say nice things, but you get a lot of people who say just vile things, which I'll never understand. Pia, welcome to the Members Club. I'll never understand because at the end of the day, if you actually watch the content, we actually have a really nice community. There's a lot of debate. There's a lot of banter. There's not really anything that's toxic or horrible. And in relation to Man United for the last season, yes, there has been players that have been slated. But I've heard every United fan slate this team, so I don't really know what people's problem is other than bitterness and jealousy, maybe. I don't know. But it did get me thinking. We just spoke about Marcus Rashford there and wants guaranteed first game time, which is egotistical, I think. That team is full of big egos. You've got many players that have played badly this season. Rashford's been one of them. Maguire, Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes. And I put a tweet out this morning and I basically said that, you know, nothing's better than the support you get from the people that like you. But I'd be a liar if the haters didn't motivate me. And it's just a very couple of sentences. I've had a lot of abuse over the last 12 hours. I'm not going to get a violin out and tell you some of the stuff I've had privately, but look, you can see it on Twitter. A lot of abuse over the last 12 hours. And I'm still going to do the show tonight. It's not at one point if I thought I'm not going to do it, and it's made me think, you know, I'm going to do my very best tonight because I want to do this. I know a lot of people will want to watch it, so not for 1 minute have I gone, oh, where's my agent? You know, where's my family? Oh, tell me I'm great. No, because criticism is fine. People don't necessarily like what you do, but it got me thinking about United players. Like, they've had a lot of abuse. They've played very, very badly for United. Why can't they respond to it? I would say to anybody that if you're always going to have people who like you and you're always going to have people who don't like you. The people that don't like you, you never really need to understand why. Just use it as a motivator to prove, not even to prove them wrong, just use it as a motivator. You know, the best support is the nice support, and I'm always grateful for everybody in our community. But the people that actually give me a bit of hate, they don't realise that they motivate me. I mean, there's accounts out there that tweet about me, and I actually quite like it because they tweet stuff out about me, and it gets loads of retweets, and you look at the comments and people are going, Goldbridge is a knobhead. But actually, they're just spreading my name to people who don't know who I am and the United Stand. And the reality is, all right, another 10 people might not like me, but another 5 people who never heard of the United Stand might watch it and go, actually, I quite like it. So they're actually growing our community. So in a way, I'm grateful. But, you know, it's very difficult, I know. And bullying is not a nice thing. And you should always get support for that. But in life, you will have detractors. In life, you will have haters. And in life, you'll have good people. And the main lesson on life is to focus on the good people. But sometimes criticism can be a positive because it can be a motivator. And I think United players have been weak on that this season. As I said, I don't think that they've put mirrors in their room. I think they've focused too much on the people around them that are telling them how great they are. But the people around them will be telling them they're great because they might be making money off them. You know, they might like the fame they get off them. Are they getting real conversations? And I think about certain players at United. I think about certain players at Man United. And I think, no, I'm not going to do that. But I do think about it. And I think, you know what? If I was close to that player, I'd be saying, you've not had a good season, you know. You haven't had a good season. But the positive is, you're a lot better than that. You do need to, you're not going to improve if you don't acknowledge the fact that you're playing badly. But you will play better. And you control the criticism. Because in football, for football players, it's different. Because you're getting criticised because you're not playing well. If you start playing well, that criticism will turn to a positive. I don't think United players this season have had enough people around them speaking the truth. I think they've got people around them going, ignore them, they're all jealous. You know, you're having a good season. You know, you're doing really, really well. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. A curious question, Mark. Knowing that some United players watch your show, do you sometimes voice opinions hoping that they might hear it? I'd love them to hear what I've just said there, George. You know, I really do think that these United players are in control of the criticism. And I do think that they need people around them to tell them that they have been crap in a positive, in a constructive way. Because I don't think they're hearing it. Spence, first choice right back. Would you take on Dest on a loan from Barcelona, says Keith? I just don't think loans work for United, really, because you don't have control of the player. If we don't get Nkunku, I think Paqueta could be another option. 25 left-footed, says Caden. James says, if Rashford to get his head screwed on, which position do you think he should aim to take in the team? I mean, it's a good question from James. I don't know what Rashford's future is, really. Pierre, welcome to the Members Club. Look, I like Rashford. I think there's a really good player there. I saw some clips of Rashford that were on Twitter, I think, last night. And some of them probably have mirrors on their bedroom ceiling, Mark. Yeah, maybe. But I saw some clips of Rashford last night, but the kits are so old. I mean, we were talking 4 or 5 years ago. And it's the same skill move he uses. He uses that brilliant skill, which I love, where he sort of drags it right and goes left. It's not always the simple thing to say, look at these clips of Rashford 4 or 5 years ago. I like Rashford. I know what he can do. I know that little drag move he uses. I know the little quick feet he's got. But you know what? There used to be... I can't remember the name of the player. There used to be a player in the 90s who had this trick. He used to put his foot over the ball and then go to the right. And for about a season, he was really, really good. And then he was never good after that because people figured it out. So just because Rashford had a good skill move or two a couple of years ago, maybe he's been figured out. Maybe he can't do it anymore because he hasn't got the manoeuvrability in his back. Maybe he hasn't got the confidence. The trouble with Rashford is we don't know what the barrier is, but there is a barrier. That he's not the same player. And maybe he never will be the same player again. Look, unfortunately, the football world is full of footballers who were really exciting in their late teens and early 20s who just disappear. That's the danger for Rashford. He can't be walking into a meeting with HAG saying, I want guaranteed first game time. Because if I was HAG, I'd go, mate, you'll be lucky if you get a guaranteed place on the bench. Work hard and you'll be in my team. Don't come to me with any demands. And if he goes, well, I want to leave then, well, there's the door. I'd say, look, Marcus, I really think I can turn you into a good player. But don't fucking come in my office demanding first team game time. This is Manchester United, and this team will be picked on ability and form, not on social media followings or the fact that you used to play for the youth team. So you either get your head down and work hard, or you piss off. Will I see you at training in a little bit? Yeah, I will. Right, good. Let's go to work. That is exactly how I think United need to run from now on. Would you take Alvarez if the Jong deal falls? Says Oliver. I mean, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for I think look, we've done the poll. 10,000 people have voted. Will de Jong sign for United? 57% say yes, and 43% say no. So I mean, there's a bit of positivity there. There is a bit of positivity there. Let's talk about Ten Hag anyway, because yesterday there was a meeting in Amsterdam about United's recruitment. Ten Hag was with Murta. I presume Fletcher was there. I don't think Rangnick was there, and it was about recruitment ins and outs. I don't know why. First things first, I've got to be honest. Do you feel that United are going to just get rid of Rangnick at the end of the season? I'm more and more convinced this is going to happen, and I think it's a massive mistake, because some people will go, yeah, it's a good idea, it's not worked out well, but Rangnick was never the coach. Rangnick was meant to be the consultant to help build the club from top to bottom, like he's done for the last 10 years at various different clubs. I think United are going to get rid of him, having never used him for what he's good at, which is building clubs and recruitment. So I was a little bit worried yesterday that I didn't see anything about Rangnick being part of those meetings, and on a recruitment meeting, Rangnick should have been there. He's got more experience than Murta. I don't like the fact that Murta is meeting Ten Hag, because Ten Hag will know the European scene, but Ajax ain't Man United, and Murta's been part of the last few years which have not been good enough. I really want Rangnick to be part of this process. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I'm a little bit worried about it, especially when you listen to people like bloody Rio Ferdinand and the media, who just seem to be pushing this agenda against Rangnick unfairly, saying things like he shouldn't be doing press conferences anymore. It feels like they're trying to portray Rangnick as this villain and get him out of the club. And, it's obvious why, because people like Murta and Fletcher will still have good connections with the ex-players, and therefore they can all mould Ten Hag and he can be part of our group. They could never do that with Rangnick. Palestri and Ahmad, part of our plans next year, says Eugene. I don't know. I don't know who's part of his plans next year, mate. Do you think we should try Aaron Wan-Bissaka at centre-back? No, Mitt. I'm not talking about that. A slide tackling specialist centre-back. Have you ever heard such nonsense in all your life? Let's put De Gea up front. But anyway, Fantasyland, Mark, what do you think of Grealish and Diaz from Blackburn? I think he's just about to sign a new contract, Michael Diaz from Blackburn, so that won't happen. Grealish was a player I remember us looking at about a year ago, but I don't think there's anything in there. Anyway, so Rangnick had his meeting yesterday. I'm sure de Jong was on that. We've spoken about de Jong. Who else is on that list is pure speculation. Who's he looking to get rid of? Who's he looking to bring in? We'll probably start to find out over the next few weeks, maybe even the next few days, because what we have had last week was we don't know who the targets are. I think now that these meetings are taking place with Ten Hag and Manchester United, we'll start to get leaks about who the targets are. And I expect Darwin Núñez is a very hot topic. Obviously, De Jong's a hot topic. And I think we'll get more clarity on whether we are in for Phillips or Lema or Neves or Timber or Torres or whoever else. So I think we'll get that over the next few days and weeks. But what we did get yesterday, and who was part of the meeting yesterday, was Steve McClaren and Van der Gaag. So Van der Gaag is Ajax's current assistant coach to Ten Hag. He's going to come with him, which is great news. I think it's really... Manchester United fans, we've become very aware of how important coaching teams are, and Van der Gaag, who's worked with Ajax and Ten Hag for the last few years, very important that he comes with Eric, because it's that support blanket, it's that experience, and they work, so that's really, really good. I'm very happy about that. There was talk it might not happen, but I think we were always quite confident it would. And then Steve McClaren looks like he's going to be the sort of Premier League experienced assistant coach. Remember, Robin van Persie was mentioned, Jaap Stam was mentioned, Rennie Mullenstein was mentioned. It looks like they're going to go with Steve McClaren. Now, Tommy says, Steve McClaren, please God, no. I actually spoke about McClaren a few weeks ago, and I said, you know what? I don't mind, because Steve McClaren was a really good assistant coach with Sir Alex, albeit we are 23 years ago since that happened, so it's a long time. But remember, Steve McClaren has also worked in the Dutch league. I think there was a bit of a crossover with Erik ten Hag. I think they may have worked together before. And he was a very good assistant coach to Sven-Göran Eriksson with that golden generation of England. So, look, he's got good experience. There are concerns. Look, like any signing, there is concerns, and I think we've got to look at both sides. But McClaren is very experienced. He is, he lives and breathes football, and he I mean, look, United seem to want somebody who's got a glimpse to the past. I don't agree with it. I don't think you need it. But McClaren did manage us in the treble year and, assistant coach that year. So he has got good experience. And ultimately, though, what I think and what you think is completely irrelevant. This is the man that Erik ten Hag wants. And we might need to get used to this, because what if next season Erik ten Hag starts the season and benches Ronaldo and plays Rashford through the middle? I don't agree with that. Do you agree with that? But he's the manager. You've got to go with it. And not everything Erik ten Hag cannot please everybody, because me and you disagree about things. So if he pleases me, he might not please some of you. If he pleases some of you, he might not please some of me. So we're going to get these sort of decisions. And when I said a few weeks ago, it's going to be really challenging for this fan base to stay with this manager as long as it needs to. It's a challenge for me and it's a challenge for everybody. Now I'm telling myself I'm sticking by Erik ten Hag through thick and thin for at least till this time next year. A whole year. That's a long time to stick with a manager who's new, because we're going to learn a lot very, very quickly. We might finish 6th next year. We might not win anything. We might play crap. And I'm saying to you now that I will still be supporting him in a year's time. So it is going to be a challenge, but it's very easy to say you're going to stick with a manager when he's just been appointed. It becomes harder, because basically what happens is, I'm Team Ten Hag. I'm Team Ten Hag. And what happens is, as time passes and decisions are made, the chisel starts to chip away at Team Ten Hag, and eventually it can break. And it's how quick it breaks, because he will make decisions that you don't agree with. And that's the whole point about backing somebody, isn't it? You want him to succeed, but he may well make decisions that you don't agree with. And that's where support really kicks in, because I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for him to make decisions that I don't agree with. And I'm prepared to just go, look, I might not agree with it, but he is the manager and he must be given free rein. And I think Steve McClaren represents that, doesn't he? Steve McClaren is a player that is somebody that some of the fans don't really want to see. But I don't have a massive problem with it. Assistant coach at the end of the day. And so I'm looking forward to see what happens. Sorry, Ten Hag is understood to have reached out to De Jong's agents to gauge whether De Jong would be receptive to joining United. That's from Manchester Evening News. Well, that doesn't surprise me. And as I said, I think that this is more advanced than people think. It may not happen, but I'm certainly not concerned about it not happening at the moment. Okay, thanks everyone who's joined. I mean, I've just read the Lookers tweet. I mean, it's a nothing tweet. It's nothing. I mean, look, everybody needs to make their own mind up on transfer news, but Gerard Romero said 2 days ago that there's a 95% chance of this happening, and then people are getting excited that we've reached out to De Jong's agent. It's not really breaking news, is it? Like a Barcelona source that says there's a 95% chance of this happening. He hasn't walked outside and gone, there's a 95% chance that De Jong's coming to United. There's obviously, I said this at the start of the show, there's clearly been advanced talks between Barcelona, United and De Jong's agents. 100%. United haven't gone, we'd like De Jong. Barcelona, maybe we consider selling him. Gerard Romero in his garden. 95% chance. Nobody's spoken to each other. Of course. I mean, here we go. Lookers has said that on Twitter. I'll say this on YouTube. Manchester United have 100% been in contact with De Jong, persuading him to come to Manchester United. Manchester United have 100% been discussing a fee with Barcelona to get him to Manchester United. Barcelona 100% are considering selling Frankie De Jong to Manchester United. They're all facts. That's how journalism works. Regurgitate stuff that's already known and put it as a headline. We already know all this stuff. This is not breaking news. This was breaking news on Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Friday morning, United have been in contact with De Jong's agents. No fucking shit, Sherlock. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? Anyway, look, thanks everyone for watching. Remember, tonight on YouTube at 10 o'clock, I'm presenting a radio show for the first time on TalkSport. Probably the last time. And you can watch it live on YouTube. It's on the TalkSport YouTube channel. I will tweet it off at Mark Goldbridge. We have got a 2 o'clock and an 8 o'clock show for you as well. And what else did I want to say? Thanks everyone who's joined the members club. You can check out our tactical deep dive on De Jong, comparing him to Matic and Rodri and how his game would work at United and how we'd fit him in. If you are a member, make sure you watch it. And you can do that by clicking the join button as well. And of course, it's Spitch weekend, so make sure you play Spitch. It's free to play. Hold your phone up to the QR code, scan it and play. You must be over 18, but it's free to play. You can play against everybody. Your points are 0. Everybody's points is 0 tomorrow. So you play Premier League points. People with the most points win prizes. But also the second link is the United Stand community one. There's a lot smaller competition there because it's just the United Stand community. You play against me, and if you win, you get a £50 voucher for the United Stand Shopify site where you can get your Last Dance hoodies and everything like that. And you also get a bigger prize, I think, of beating me, which you won't be able to do. So try it, links in the description. I'll speak to you a little bit later, and hopefully you'll be tuning in at 10 o'clock tonight on TalkSport, as well as United Stand. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for all your support as ever. This community is what makes us great. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I'll speak to you all in a bit.